Good evening, everyone. In the last session, we started our discussion related to what is Spring Core Module. So Spring Core Module is all about managing the dependencies among the classes with loosely coupling. So when we are developing project with one class, we cannot develop a project. Project means collection of classes will be available. Project means collection of classes will be available. Based on the role the classes are playing, those classes are divided into three types. One is called Pojo, second one is Java Bean, third one is component. So what is the meaning of a Pojo? Any Java class which can be compiled by using only JDK is called as Pojo. Any Java class which can be compiled by using only JDK software is called as Pojo class. All right. So next one, what is a Java Bean? Any Java class which follows Bean specification rules is called as Java Bean. Then what is component class? Okay, the Java classes which contains business logic is called as component class. Any Java class which contains the business logic is called as any Java class which contains business logic is called as component class. Okay, guys. Right. Fine. Next one. So what are the business classes available here? What are the business classes available? DAO classes, DAO classes, DAO classes, service classes, controllers will be available as the component classes. Those classes will contain the business logic in the project. Okay. Now here, guys, when we are developing multiple Java classes, how one Java class can talk to another Java class? Can you guys tell me how one Java class can talk to another Java class? Here, one Java class can talk to another Java class in two ways. One is by using inheritance, another one is by using composition. Okay, guys. One is by using inheritance, another one is by using composition. So guys, tell me what is inheritance and what is composition? What is inheritance and what is composition? Can you guys tell me that? What is inheritance and what is composition? Come on, guys. What is inheritance and what is composition? Any idea? Any idea? What is inheritance and what is composition? Come on, guys. Extending the properties from one class to another class is called as inheritance. Let's take an example. Car class with example. Car and engine example. So I'm taking car and engine example. So when I'm taking car and engine, car class having drive method, or else first let me take a car class engine. In the engine class, I'm having one method called start method. Engine class having one method called start method. So in the engine class start method, there is some logic available. And now here car class is available, class car is available. Car class is having a method called drive method. Car class is having a method called drive method. Now start the engine, then drive the car. Start the engine, drive the car. So like this, there are two classes available in my project. Now guys, can you tell me, can we drive a car without engine? Is it possible to drive the car without engine? Is it possible to drive the car without engine? No. So here, car, if we want to drive the car, we need to start the engine. So here, if we want to drive the car, then we need to start the engine. If we want to drive the car, then we need to start the engine. So that means car class drive method should call engine class start method. Car class drive method should call engine class start method. If I want to drive the car, then we need to start the engine. That means car class drive method should call engine class start method. In how many ways? In how many ways car class can call engine class methods? Can you guys tell me in how many ways car class can call engine class method? In two ways. In two ways. What are those two ways? One is by using inheritance. One is by using inheritance. Second one is by using composition. One is by using inheritance and the second one is by using composition. Car should extend the properties from engine, then we can call the engine class method. Or else car should create the object for the engine, then we can create the object for the engine class and we can call the method. Guys, here, if you go for inheritance or if you go for composition, is there any problem or there is no problem with our classes? If we go for inheritance and if we go for composition, is there any problem or there is no problem? There is a problem. So what is the problem? If we use inheritance or composition, then car class will be tightly coupled with the engine class. If we use any approach from above, then car class will become tightly coupled. Car class will become tightly coupled with the engine. Are you guys getting my point? If we use any approach from above, then car class will become tightly coupled with the engine class. That is not recommended. That is not recommended. Are you guys able to follow my point? If you want to drive the car, then we need to start the engine. That means car class drive method should call the engine class start method. If I want to access engine class start method in the car class drive method, I have two options. One is by using inheritance. Second one is by using composition. If we use any approach from the above, then car class will become tightly coupled with the engine class. That is not recommended. That is not recommended. Let me show you that. Guys, here I'm using Spring Toolsuite IDE to develop our projects. So I'm going to create that as a workspace. I will choose this workspace to develop our projects. Spring Toolsuite IDE I'm using to develop our project. All of you have that IDE? Do you have Spring Toolsuite IDE? That is the recommended IDE from the Spring to develop. You can use Eclipse, you can use Spring Toolsuite, or you can use IntelliJ also. Any IDE is fine. I'm going to use Spring Toolsuite IDE to develop our projects. I'm using Spring Toolsuite IDE to develop our projects. Clear? Yeah, if you don't have Spring Toolsuite IDE, I will give the link to download it, no problem. If you have Eclipse also, that is fine. If you have IntelliJ also, that is fine, no problem. Any IDE is fine for me. Now I am going to create one project, file new, normal Java project I'm creating. Normal Java project I'm creating. I'm taking this as a app1, click on next. I'm creating my first project, guys. I'm creating my click on finish. Yeah, so it is All of you, can you hear me now? Am I audible now? Am I audible now? Yeah, perfect. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. So today I came to hometown, so I think there is some network issue here. Yeah, let's continue. I created my project. I have not done anything else now. I just created my project. That's it. It is a simple Java project. If you want, I will delete that and I will recreate that project. Okay, guys. So see here, I'm going to delete this project, delete it. I'm going to recreate the same project again. Please observe carefully. File, new, Java project. I'm creating a normal Java project. I'm giving the name as app1. I'm giving the name as app1. Click on next, click on finish. That's it. So I'm creating one simple Java project. I'm creating one simple Java project. Okay. So with this, my Java project is created. In this project, I'm creating one class called engine class. All right. Let me take a class with a name called engine. So I'm creating that class inside a package in .ashok.it. I'm giving that class with a name called engine. Now, inside the engine class, I'm writing a method, public integer, some start method, public integer start method. So it is writing some logic to start it, return 1. If we get the positive number, that means the engine is started. That is our understanding. I have taken one method called start method in the engine class. That method will have some dummy logic, and that method is returning 1. That means it is returning a positive number. So if it is a positive number, then we will consider that engine is started. Similarly, I'm going to take one more class with a name called car. I'm going to take one more class with a name called car. Now, inside the car class, I want to write a method called drive method, public void drive method. Inside the car class, I'm writing public void drive, right? When I need to drive the car, first I need to start the engine. Then start the journey. So first I need to start the engine, then I need to start my journey. Okay, so in order to start the engine, I need to call engine start method. Now, how many ways my car class can access that engine class? How many ways my car class can access engine class? How many ways my car class can access engine class? 2 ways. One is I can go for extends engine. I can extend the properties from the engine. Then I can call that start method, because car is a subclass for the engine. Now car class can access super.start. Superclass method it can access directly. Superclass method is going to return some value, engine start. Okay, if start is anything greater than or equal to 1, then I am going to say that system.out.println journey started. So like this, I'm going to create a car class and I'm creating engine class. Guys, now tell me, car class having some relation with engine, car class does not have any relation with the engine. Car class having some relation with the engine, car class does not have any relation with the engine. There is any relation between the car and engine, or there is no relation? There is a relation. What relation? Inheritance is available. Okay, now let me go for a class called main class. In order to test this functionality, I'm going for one main class. Inside the main class, I'm creating main method. Inside the main class, I'm creating a main method. Inside the main method, I'm creating object car is equal to new car dot drive. Car class object I created. and I'm calling drive method. Right click, run as Java application. Can you see? Journey started. I'm able to start my journey. But how I developed my classes, is this a recommended way to develop my class? Guys, is this a recommended way to develop my classes? This is not the recommended way to develop my class. This is not the recommended way to develop my class because my car class is directly extending the properties from the engine. That means my car is tightly coupled with the engine. My car is tightly coupled with the engine. Tomorrow, can we extend the properties from any other class? In future, can car extend the properties from any other class in future? Can car extend the properties from any other class in the future? Car class cannot extend the properties from any other class in the future. The reason is car is already extending from the engine. We can't go for multiple inheritance in the Java. We cannot go for multiple inheritance in the Java. Now see here, this is my approach one. Is a approach. Is a approach. So I have taken engine class and I have taken car class. Car class is extending the properties from the engine directly, and car class is calling the engine class method. This is not the recommended approach. So inheritance is not the recommended approach if we one class want to communicate with the another class in the project. In the project, multiple classes will be available. In the project, multiple classes will be available. One class should talk to another class. By using inheritance, we can access one class method in the another class. Now we have seen the problem with the inheritance. In future, our car class cannot extend the properties from any other class. So now I don't want to go for inheritance. Okay, without going for inheritance, is there any other approach available that car can talk to engine? Is there any other approach available? Car can talk to engine. Is there any other approach available? Yes, composition is available, has a relation. So what is the meaning of as a relation? Creating the object engine eng is equal to new engine. Okay, now I am going to call eng dot start. I'm going to write eng dot start. So now I'm able to call the method and I'm able to check the status. I'm able to call the method and I'm able to check the status. Public class car, public void drive, engine eng is equal to new engine. Int start is equal to engine dot start. If start greater than or equal to 1, then my journey started. So guys, here what I am doing, here I'm creating the object for the engine class that is called composition. By using inheritance, we can access one class methods in the another class. By using inheritance, we can use it. By using object creation also, we can access one class methods in the another class. But what is the problem? Today, in the engine class, there is no constructor. That's why zero param constructor will be available. For example, tomorrow, I'm going to change the engine class constructor. I will add a constructor in the engine class. I will make it as a brake B and I will make it as a fuel F. Then if I write a engine class constructor like this, my car class is affected or my car class is not affected. So my car is loosely coupled with the engine or my car is tightly coupled with the engine. Guys, here, if I change the constructor of the engine, then my car class is getting affected or my car class is not getting affected. If I change the engine class constructor, my car class is getting affected. So that means, can I say car is tightly coupled with the engine? Can I say car is tightly coupled with the engine? Yes, car is tightly coupled with engine. And today we are creating object for the engine directly by using new operator. We are not passing anything. Tomorrow in the engine class, they have added parameterized constructor. When we add a parameterized constructor, default constructor will not be available. If I want to create the object for the engine, I need to create the object for the brake. I need to create the object for the fuel. That means that will become headache for me. That will become headache for me. So is this recommended to create the object directly to call one class methods in the another class, or it is not recommended to create the objects directly to call one class methods in the another class? Not recommended. Why not recommended? Why not recommended? If you create the object for one class in the another class directly, then the classes will become tightly coupled. Then the classes will become tightly coupled. Okay, guys. So now do you understand what is the meaning of tightly coupling? If one class is tightly coupled with another class, any changes happen in one class will impact on the other class. If I make any change in the engine class, car class is getting affected. That means car is tightly coupled with the engine. If you go for easier relation or if you go for a hazier relation, the classes are becoming tightly coupling. The classes are becoming tightly coupling. Now, do you understand what is the problem with the inheritance and composition? Now, do you understand what is the issue with the inheritance and composition? If you go for inheritance, one class is extending the properties of another class directly. Tomorrow, if I want to extend from any other class, it is not possible. Java does not support for multiple inheritance. To avoid the problem of inheritance, I am creating the object. As we are creating object for the engine, tomorrow if engine class constructor got modified, then our car class will be affected. As we are tomorrow, if engine class constructor modified, tomorrow, if engine class constructor modified, then our car class will be affected. Then our car class will be affected because car is tightly coupled with the engine. So it is not recommended to use inheritance or composition to access one class methods in the another class. Okay, guys. So easier approach, inheritance approach, as a approach. So in the both scenarios, we understood if we use any approach from above, then our car class will become tightly coupled with the engine class. That is not recommended. Always we need to develop our classes with loosely coupling. Always we need to develop our classes with loosely coupling. Are you guys able to understand my point? So what is the meaning of loosely coupling? I don't want to extend the properties. I don't want to create the object. I don't want to extend the properties. I don't want to extend the properties. I don't want to create the object. Still, one class methods should access another class methods. I don't want to extend the properties. I don't want to create the object. Still, I want to access one class methods in the another class. So without using inheritance, without using object creation, if you can access one class methods in the another class, then we can say our classes are loosely coupled. Okay, always we need to develop our classes with loosely coupling. Loosely coupling means without, if I make any changes in the engine class, then car class should not be affected. Loosely coupling means without creating object and without inheriting properties, we should be able to access one class methods in the another class. One class methods in the another class. If we make any changes in engine, engine class, then car class should not be affected. Okay, guys. If we make any changes in engine class, then car class should not be affected. Then we can call them as loosely coupled. Okay, whatever the project we have developed, in our project, our classes are tightly coupled. See, if I modify the constructor of the engine, my car class compilation failed. That means car is tightly coupled with the engine. It is not recommended to develop the classes with tightly coupling. Always we need to develop our classes with loosely coupling. What is the meaning of loosely coupling? Loosely coupling means without creating object, without inheriting properties, we should be able to access one class methods in another class. One class methods in another class. If we make any changes in engine class, then car class should not be affected. Then we can say our classes are loosely coupled. Then our classes are loosely coupled. If we make any changes in engine class, then car class should not be affected. If we can achieve that, then we can say our classes are loosely coupled. Are you guys clear with what is the difference between? Are you guys clear with what is the difference between tightly coupling and loosely coupling? Are you guys clear with the difference between what is the tightly coupling and what is loosely coupling? Clear with the difference between what is tightly coupling and what is loosely coupling? Yes. Now, how to develop our classes with loosely coupling? So to develop our classes with loosely coupling, we need to go for interfaces concept. Which concept we need to use, guys? To develop the classes with loosely coupling, we need to use interfaces. Are you clear with my point? To develop classes with loosely coupling, we need to use interfaces. To develop our classes with loosely coupling, then we need to go for interfaces. Clear? Now here, what I will do is, currently my car class is directly talking to engine. Currently my car class is directly talking to engine. I don't want to do like that. So what I will do is, here I'm going to take a car class, and here I will take one engine interface or iEngine interface. Now in that interface, I will take one method, and here I will take a diesel engine, and I will take a petrol engine, and I will take a electric engine. Like that. One interface I am going to take with the multiple implementations. So now if I want to develop the project classes with loosely coupling, always we need to go for interfaces concept. So here I'm going to take one interface with a name called iEngine. In this interface, I'm going to write one method called start method. I'm going to write one method called start method. Okay, so this is my iEngine interface. In this interface, I'm writing a start method. Now that interface is implementing by diesel engine and petrol engine. So I'm having a petrol engine class, I'm having a diesel engine class, and I'm having a electric engine class. I'm having electric engine class. Like this, there are three classes, three types of engines are available, which are implementing our engine interface. Now here I'm going to take car class. Inside the car class, I have a drive method. I'm taking a car class. Inside the car class, I'm taking a drive method. In order to drive a car, we need a engine. Are you guys getting my point? Can we drive a car without engine? Can we drive a car without engine? No, we need a engine. My car will not talk to, if I talk to from car, if I talk to petrol engine, my car is tightly coupled with the petrol engine. If I create the object for a diesel engine, my car is tightly coupled with the diesel engine. If I create the object for electric engine, then my car is tightly coupled with the electric engine. My car class will not use any class directly. My car class will use one interface called iEngine. Understand my point? So now my car is tightly coupled with any engine, or my car is talking to a interface. Guys, my car is talking to any engine directly, or my car is talking to a interface. Our complete Spring Boot microservices examples based on this example only. You need to understand this example very carefully. Okay, car class is talking to engine classes directly, or my car class will talk to one interface? My car class will talk to interface. What is the advantage? What is the advantage if my car is talking to interface? Interface can hold any implementation class object. Today I can use a petrol engine. Tomorrow I can use a diesel engine, or I can use electric engine. Now tell me, if I make any change in the petrol engine, will it affect on my car class? Will not affect on my car class? Guys, if I make any changes to the petrol engine, will it affect on the car class? Will not affect on the car class? Will not affect on the car class. If I make any change in the diesel engine, will it affect on the car class or will not affect on the car class? Will not affect on the car class. Why? Because my car is talking to the classes, or my car is talking to a interface. My car is talking to the classes, or my car is talking to a interface. My car is talking to interface. So my car is tightly coupled with the engine, or my car is loosely coupled with the engine. I can fit any engine for my class. I can use a petrol engine for my class. I can use a diesel engine for my class. I can use electric engine for my class. I can use any engine for my class because my car is loosely coupled with the engine. Now let us see how to develop this program. Now I'm going to delete all these classes because these are not the recommended way to develop. Now I will develop these classes with the recommended approach. Always I'm going to create interface now. I'm going to create one interface with a name called iEngine. I'm creating one interface with a name called iEngine. In this interface, I'm writing a method public int start. The rule is, in our company, whatever the engines we are manufacturing, those engines should implement this engine interface, iEngine interface. Any engine that we are manufacturing in our company, those engines should implement iEngine interface. Those engines should implement iEngine interface. Now, let me go for that. New class, I'm taking petrol engine. Petrol engine implements iEngine. Petrol engine implements iEngine. When interface is implementing, when class is implementing an interface, it has to override the method system.out.println petrol engine started. Petrol engine started, return 1. Petrol engine started, return 1. Like this, I have taken one petrol engine. Are you clear, guys? I created one interface. In the interface, I have taken one method. That interface is implemented by a class. Class is implementing that interface, and I am overriding start method. I'm overriding start method. Similarly, I'm creating one more class called diesel engine. I'm creating one more class called diesel engine. Diesel engine also implementing interface. Diesel engine implements iEngine. Okay, start method. What we need to do? Diesel engine implementing interface. So what we are going to do? System.out.println. System.out.println. I will say that diesel engine started. I'm going to return 1. Okay, so now tell me, how many engines are available in my company now? Let's forget about the electric engine for now. Remove this electric engine. How many implementations available for the engine now? How many implementations available for the engine now? 2 implementations available for the engine. Okay, now let us develop our car class. New class, I'm going for car. I'm going for car. Now, inside the car, I'm writing public void drive. In order to drive the car, I need to start the engine. Here I'm taking private iEngine eng. Okay, now I'm going to call eng.start. It will give me start. If start greater than or equal to 1, any positive number, then I'm going to say that journey started. I'm going to say that journey started, else system.out.println engine trouble. Engine in trouble. Okay, guys. Now, so now tell me, earlier our car class and now our car class, earlier our car class directly created the object for the engine. But today my car class is talking to another class, or my car class is talking to a interface. My car class is talking to engines directly, or my car class is talking to interface now. Guys, my car class is talking to engine classes directly, or my car class is talking to one interface now. So what is the advantage here? If I change the constructor of the petrol engine, if I change the constructor of the diesel engine, is there any impact on the car? If I change the engine classes, if I change the engine class constructors, is there any impact on the car? No. Is my car class open for inheritance in the future? Is my car open for inheritance in the future? Yes, my car is not using any inheritance concept. My car is not creating object for anything. Okay, so with this, can we say our car class is loosely coupled with the engines? Guys, can we say our car class is loosely coupled with the engines now? Yes, our car class is loosely coupled with the engines because our car is not talking to the engine classes directly. Our car class is talking to a interface. Now, can we create the object for the car and can we call the drive method? Can we create object for the car and can we call the drive method? If I call the drive method now, what output I will get? If I call the drive method now, what output I will get? If condition will execute or else condition will execute. If I create the object for the car and if I call the drive method, what output I will get? If condition will execute, a journey started, engine trouble, journey started, or engine trouble, what output we will get? Can we see the output now? Can we see the output now? Yeah, so many people are saying that journey started. Okay, let us see that output. Main method. I'm going to write in the main class. I'm writing a main method. In that I'm creating object for car. Car is equal to new car. Okay, car dot drive. I'm creating object for the car class. I'm calling drive method. See here, my car is having an interface variable and my car is having a drive method. Now I'm creating object for the car class and I'm calling drive method. Okay, I have taken one main class. In that I'm creating object for the car and I'm calling drive method. I'm giving the last chance. Can you guess what is the output? It will give journey started or it will give engine in trouble. Last chance, think again. Tell me the output. Are you going to get the output as journey started or you are going to get the output as engine in trouble? Engine in trouble. Okay, run the program, run as Java application. What is the output? Output is null pointer exception. Srinivas, you told that null pointer exception, good job. Two people told that program will give null pointer exception. All the remaining 140 people told that if condition will execute, else condition will execute. That means your coding skills are very weak. If you say that journey started is the output, or if you say engine trouble is the output, that means your coding skills are very weak. Only out of 144 people, 2 people told that it will give null pointer exception. The people who told that it will give null pointer exception, those are correct. Those people answer is correct. This program, if I call the drive method, it will give null pointer exception. Why it is giving null pointer exception? Here, I just created a variable, man. Private iEngine, ENG. ENG is a variable. iEngine is an interface. I just created a variable. I just declared a variable. Am I initializing this variable or I am not initializing this variable? Am I initializing this variable or I am not initializing this variable? Did I initialize the variable or I have not initialized the variable? If I don't initialize the reference variables, what is the default value? If I don't initialize the reference variable, can I say ENG is a reference variable? Can I say ENG is a reference variable? Yes, ENG is a reference variable. ENG is a reference variable. So when we don't initialize the reference variables, what is the default value? Whenever the object is created for a class, instance variables will be initialized with the default value. Can I say ENG is a instance variable? Yes, ENG is a instance variable. So ENG is what type of variable? Reference variable, interface reference. Interface is the data type. So this variable will be initialized with the default value. So default value is a null value. So when I drive method is called, engine variable will hold a null value. Null dot start will give null pointer exception. Now you understand why we are going to get the null pointer exception? Now you understand why we are getting the null pointer exception here. People who told that journey started, engine is in trouble, you need to think, you need to understand the code before giving the answer. I created a object or I just declared a variable. Guys, here ENG variable I just declared or I created a object. I just declared a variable. I have not created the object. ENG is just one variable. What is the data type of the variable? iEngine. My car class is using engine classes directly, or my car class is using an interface. My car class is using engines directly, or my car class is using interface. Why my car class is using interface? Why not petrol engine, diesel engine directly? If my car is using petrol engine, always it will talk to only petrol engine. If my car class create the object for the diesel engine, always it will talk to only diesel engine. I don't want to tightly couple. I don't want tightly coupling among the classes. I want my classes to be loosely coupled. I want my classes to be loosely coupled. So that's why I developed my classes with the interface concept, not with the classes directly. My car class will talk to interface. Interface is having the two implementation classes. My car will refer interface, not the classes directly, so that my car is loosely coupled with the engine. If you modify the petrol engine or if you modify the diesel engine, there is no impact on the car because car is talking to interface, not with the implementation classes. So can I create an object for the interface? iEngine ENG is equal to new iEngine. Can I do like this? Can I do like this? No, for interface, we cannot create the object. We can create the object only for the class, not for the interface. That's why I just declared a variable of my interface. I just declared a variable of my interface. Now, ENG variable, what value it will contain, guys? If I create the object for the car in the Java, whenever we create object for a class, instance variables will be initialized with the default value. Engine variable data type is iEngine. iEngine is an interface, that means a reference type. So engine is a reference variable. For the reference variables, default value will be null. So whenever the object is created for the car, ENG variable will be initialized with the null value. So whenever you call the drive method, engine.start, null.start, null.start, null pointer exception. Here we are going to get null pointer exception. Here we are going to get null pointer exception. So if condition will not execute, else condition will not execute. Code will fail at the line number 8 only. In the line number 8, I'm using variable.method. That variable will hold a null value. The variable is an instance variable. That variable we just declared. We have not initialized the variable. Whenever we create the object for the class, memory will be allocated for the instance variables with the default value. So ENG variable reference type is the iEngine. So that means it is a reference variable. So default value will be null. Null.method, null pointer exception. Samjha? Why we are getting null pointer exception? Saddam, now you understood why we are getting null pointer exception in this program. Now, how to resolve this null pointer exception? How to resolve this? My classes are loosely coupled. We understood. Car is earlier, yesterday or today in the starting session, we understood car class is extending the properties from the engine. If a car class extending the properties from the engine, car is tightly coupled with the engine. If a car class is creating object for the engine, car is tightly coupled with the engine. That's why I developed classes like this. I don't want to use the engines directly in the car. Car will use a interface. Interface will have implementation classes. Now, okay, my car class is loosely coupled with the engine. My car class is loosely coupled with the engine. Now, by using interface variable, I'm calling the method. Does that variable having any object, or that variable is having a null value? Does that variable having any object, or does that variable is having a null value? Does that variable is giving a value, or it is giving a null value? Null value. How to resolve this problem? How to overcome this problem? How to overcome this problem, guys? By initializing this variable. Okay, guys. So we need to store any one of the implementation object into this variable. Then that method will work. We need to initialize that eng variable. What value we can store into eng variable now? What value we can store into eng variable? What is the data type of the eng variable? What is the data type of the eng variable? IEngine. So what value I can store into that variable now? What value I can store into that variable now? Any class which is implementing that interface. Any class which is implementing that interface. Okay, guys, now when I am developing this class, do I know customer will use which engine? Customer will prefer which engine? Do I know that? When I am developing this car, do I know customer will prefer which engine? No, I don't know. If I write like this, ENG is equal to new petrol engine. If I create like this, is it valid or invalid? Is it valid or invalid? Valid. Valid. But what is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem, guys? My car class always will talk to petrol engine. Always will talk to petrol engine. Okay, if I go for a diesel engine, then what will happen? Always it will talk to only diesel engine. Always it will talk to only diesel engine. So is it recommended to create the objects on our own directly? Is it recommended to create the object on our own directly? It is not recommended. If you create the object directly, again, it is a tightly coupling problem. Again, it is a tightly coupling problem. So to overcome this, I will not create the object for the engine class. Here, I will expect the object of the engine. Anybody who want to drive the car, they need to set the engine. Are you guys clear with my point? I don't want to create the object for the engine. Anybody who want to use the engine, who want to use the car, they should create the object for the engine. So what I will do is, I will write one constructor, public car IEngine ENG of this dot ENG is equal to ENG. Is my problem solved? Is my problem solved now? Am I creating the object for the engine? I'm expecting the object of the engine. Who want to use the car, they need to set the engine object. Who want to use the car, they need to set the engine object. So in the car class, am I creating the engine? Am I expecting the engine? Tell me. Am I creating the engine? Am I expecting the engine? I'm expecting the engine. Now, can anybody use my car class without creating the engine object? No, no. Anybody who want to use my car, who want to drive my car, they need to call my drive method. In order to call my drive method is an instance method. In order to call the instance method, they need to create the object for the car. Car class is having parameterized constructor. It is expecting engine. My problem is solved. My car class is loosely coupled with the engine. Now, who want to drive my car? That is their headache to set the engine object and call the drive method. Are we going to get null pointer exception now? No. So the people who want to call the drive method, they need to create the object for the car. If they want to create the object for the car, they need to set the engine object. Can I say my car is dependent on the engine now? Yes, but with loosely coupling. Is my car talking to any engine classes directly, or my car class is talking to interface directly? My car class is talking to engine class directly. My car class is talking to interface now. My car class is talking to interface now. So whenever we are developing the projects, we need to develop the classes like this, loosely coupling. If your class wants to talk to another class, now my car class will talk to engine class, but am I extending the properties from the engine class? No. Am I creating the object for the engine class? No. So now can I say, without inheriting the properties, without creating the object, my car can talk to engine. How? Whoever wants to call my car class drive method, they need to create the object for the engine. They need to give the object as an input for the car. Then they can call my car class drive method. Can I say my car class is loosely coupled with the engine? Can I say my car class is loosely coupled with the engine? Yes, my car class is loosely coupled with the engine. Now let's go to car. Car C is equal to new car. Car is expecting engine object. Petrol engine I am passing. Now run this program. Now inside the car class, for the car class object I am passing petrol engine object. So petrol engine object will store into this variable. That variable we are initializing in the current class variable. So this eng will hold the object which we received as input for the constructor. For the car class constructor, I am passing petrol engine object. Petrol engine object will be stored into current class variable. This dot eng is equal to eng. Whatever the object we are passing as a parameter for the car class constructor, that variable we are storing into current class instance variable. So whenever I call the drive method, eng.start. In the eng variable, we are already storing the petrol engine. So it is going to call petrol engine start method. It is going to call the petrol engine start method. Now in this scenario, we are not going to get null pointer exception. In this scenario, we are not going to get the null pointer exception. Okay. Now run the main class, run it. Can you see petrol engine started and journey also started? Can we see petrol engine started and journey also started? Yes. So is my car extending the properties from engine? Is my car creating the object for the engine? No. Without using inheritance, without creating object, my car is able to communicate with the engine. Without extending the properties, without creating the object, my car class is able to talk to engine class methods. Engine class methods. So this is called loosely coupling. What is this concept, guys? This concept is called as loosely coupling. So whenever we are developing the classes in the project, we need to develop like this. We need to develop like this. And here there is a concept called dependency injection. Okay, so the dependency injection concept we will discuss in the coming sessions, guys. So if I explain the dependency injection now, you will get confused. So for today, the expectation is I want you people to develop a application like this. I want you people to develop like this. Okay, guys. All of you able to understand this? All of you able to understand the program, whatever I have developed in the class? All of you able to understand the program, whatever I have developed in the class? Now, do you understand what is the meaning of loosely coupling? Now, do you understand what is the meaning of loosely coupling? Yes. So how many of you following this approach to develop the classes currently? Are you following this approach to develop your classes daily when you are learning your advanced Java, core Java? If you are developing like this, that means it is very good practice. That is very good practice. Perfect. Thank you, guys. So I want you people to practice this example. I will share the requirement also. This diagram also in the WhatsApp group. I want you people to practice this application. Develop one engine interface, iEngine. For that interface, create two implementation classes and create a car class. Car class should talk to engine through interface, not directly. Car class should talk to engine through interface. Here I'm writing a constructor. Car class is expecting the engine as a constructor parameter. That constructor parameter we are initializing into current class variable. Then current class variable we are using to call the method. Here car class is expecting interface object. That means interface implementation class object we can supply. So whenever we are creating object for the car, we can pass petrol engine object or we can pass a diesel engine object, because both engines are implementing that iEngine interface. Petrol engine implementing that interface, diesel engine is implementing that interface. So for the car class constructor, you can pass either petrol engine object or diesel engine object. Understood? Perfect. Thank you, guys. And a update for you. So from tomorrow, we are giving the Pongal holidays for our classes. We have the next class on Monday, that is the 16th. From Monday, we are going to understand what is the dependency injection. So we have the next class on Monday. So in the Monday session, we will discuss about dependency injection. So before coming to dependency injection class, I want you people to go through this notes, whatever we discussed, and I want you people to understand how to develop the classes with loosely coupling. Okay. Yeah. From tomorrow, Pongal holidays till Sunday, we have the next session on Monday. Monday, that is 16th. Monday 16th, we have our next session. In the next session, we are going to discuss about dependency injection. Before coming to Monday session, I will give you some assignments also, and I will give some important videos also in the WhatsApp group so that you can practice them before coming to Monday session. Thank you, guys. Thank you.